Hi guys, we are back in business, back filming. I'm so excited. I haven't been here in a few weeks and filmed, and I ran out of pre-film videos, and I'm so excited to get back into it. Hyped on caffeine. I worked out this morning, so I'm really shaky, and I just discovered this Fresca. They have like pop, but this is the sparkling soda water, the grapefruit citrus, which is the original like Fresca pop. So good. It's not as good for you as like LaCroix or something. I mean, there's 0 calories. There's 35 milligrams of protein, or of sodium, not protein. There's 0 grams of protein. I didn't say anything about sugar or anything, but it's not like just like, you know, I think it's the bubblies or LaCroix, they're just water. This is carbonated water, citric acid, grapefruit juice, potassium citrate. So it's like, it's not like just water like LaCroix and stuff are, so it's not as good for you, but it's better than like pop. Anyway, today I am going to retry, rediscover, shop my stash, whatever you want to call it, my makeup collection. I went through and picked out some products and put it in this bin of stuff that I haven't used in a while, or stuff that I really did love that I was like, wow, I haven't used that in a while. Now, it was hard because I don't have a product from every single category. And the reason for that being is because my collection isn't super huge, and so I'm trying to rotate and use products all the time, and if I'm not really using them, a lot of times I get rid of them. It's also hard too because for me, with this whole filming thing, I have half my makeup at school and half my makeup here. So like, when I know I'm gonna be home for like a bunch of days at a time, so like say like spring break or winter break, I bring all my makeup back. But like on weekends like this, I literally brought this, like a makeup bag like this with stuff in it. So I don't have my whole collection, which I do have a lot of products at school that I still don't even use all the time. So that's gonna be a little bit tricky, especially when I'm trying to come up with video ideas to film. The furnace just turned on, so if you hear a buzzing in the background, that's what it is. This is like second day hair. We're just going with it. I already did my brows because I didn't really have a brow product. I also like carved them out with concealer, so I feel like they look a little funny. I do want to do a haul update eventually of products that I've been trying the last couple months here. Is the lighting kind of weird? I have been trying this Wet n Wild Dewy Foundation. I think it is breaking me out like crazy. Do you see? Look at that. I don't get all these tiny little bumps. I don't know. Anyway, okay. Well, we are going to get into it. I did just want to first show you guys. I was sent from Influencer the Shiseido Sun Protecting Cream, so sunscreen. I never use sunscreen unless it's the summertime. Like, it's not incorporated in my everyday routine. I know, don't come at me. It's bad. That they did send the SPF 50 plus in both for face, and then this one's for face and body. So I just wanted to open this and see kind of what it's like. It's kind of cute. But I think I might want to try the face one today. So this is the face one. They're not paying me to say this, they just sent it to me, so I just figured I should show it. And because I was curious and I haven't really looked at it yet. And this is the face and body. This packaging is kind of trips me up because look at how it's like slanted. Anyway, this will be perfect for summertime. I'm not going anywhere on spring break. It's Minnesota, it's freezing, it's not summertime yet, but when it's summertime, like May, June, I will definitely be using this and saving it up. I'm gonna try this face one today though. Ooh, oh no. I think this is more for when you go outside. It's got a huge white cast. It smells good. It doesn't smell like your traditional sunscreen. It does have a fragrance though. It's kind of florally. Not floral, it's sweet. Okay, so it does give your face a white cast. I feel like I'm ready to go on the beach now. Go out on the lake. Feels nice. Not something that you can just wear alone, like if you're not gonna wear, I mean like, okay, if I was going on the lake, I would just put this on, but otherwise not something you're really gonna want to wear on your own. It does give you a white cast. I let that sit. I think I'm gonna do eyes first, and then I'm gonna pull my hair back. I look crazy now. So I pulled out a couple things. I have my Jaclyn Hill Morphe Vault collection. I've been using this in so long. I have the Bling Boss, which is purple, and I have the Ring the Alarm, which is like the maroon yellow, which actually I'm wearing a maroon shirt, so that kind of works. Otherwise, I did pull out the Siennas palette from Profusion. I used to talk about these all the time. This is a good palette too, so we'll see. Also, I did just grab my Morphe Eye Lid Primer. Not that I really am like rediscovering, because I have used this more recently. It's nothing special, I don't think. Okay, I really can't get over myself with this. My face is so white. Okay, so this is just a generic eye primer. Nothing special. It doesn't even really cover your lids. I'll probably start with the Siennas palette just because it has more transition shades. I was also sent these Profusion eyeshadow brushes, so I'll use those today. I am going to start out with Adventurous and just throw that in my crease. I don't really need anything crazy. I mean, I'm not, oh man, I forgot how pigmented these are. I'm not going anywhere today, but these brushes are so silky smooth. This shadow comes off a lot warmer than it does like in the pan. Look at how cool tone it looks. I'm just saying. I think I might just stick with the Siennas palette today. I think I'm gonna go into Outspoken, which is a little more maroon. I might as well just kind of stick with the maroon vibe since I already have a maroon shirt on. What videos would you guys like to see? Let me know down in the comments. I'm always open for your suggestions. I'm always curious of what you're looking to watch. More makeup, more college. This is the E2 Firm Blending Eyeshadow, and I've been using it more on the outer because it's a little bit more flat and blending it in. And then this was the ES3 Pointed Crease Brush, and this is a lot more round and fluffy. I'm going to take the Polite, which is like the really light cream shade, and just kind of make sure the edges are good. I'm really being messy. This one's a little more detailed, small pointed eyeshadow. This is the ES6. I think I'm just gonna dip into Madly, which is this one right here, a little more deeper maroon, and really focus that on the outer part of my eye, like my crease. I have a hard time with these smaller crease brushes because I don't like to do a lot of detailed work. I always talk about Raw Beauty Christy, but she inspires me so much with her looks because she's just so creative. The look she did a few weeks ago, I think, on her ColourPop, like the mint, that color, those shadows, I'd love a color like that just to play with. I don't think I have a color like that. I suppose I kind of do. I mean, I have these. This is my Wanderlust. I used to play with this one a lot too. I loved this Majesty shade. I do like greens on my eyes. I suppose I could play with something like this at one point. I mean, it's sparkly. Maybe I'll pull in this as my lower lash line. I should play with this one more. I do like this palette. I'm gonna take Cozy, which is a little more cool tone, just in the very outer, with this Small Firm Eyeshadow ES4 brush. Just really just pack it in there. It's so weird. I'm filming at 12:30 on a Saturday. Normally, like when I'm getting ready, I just get up and I film right away. But this morning, I got home last night, but this morning I was just hanging out with my family a little bit, and then I worked out. So it's like I'm filming later. Not that it's that late, but usually I'm like on to the next stuff. I'm not like getting ready at this time. I kind of want to drag this onto my, like as like a liner almost a little bit. I think I'll just go in with the lightest pink shimmer Conquest, the one that's a little bit crumbly, this one, and I'll just spray my brush a little bit. I'm going to use the Profusion Flat Shader ES5 brush. Just put that in the center. Oh, that is pretty. And move it into the inner. Pretty crumbly though, so be careful, especially if you do your face first. Look at how foiled that looks though when you wet it. It's not the best, it's pretty crumbly, but I mean it's pretty once you get it on. I am just gonna fluff out the edges, and then I'm gonna move on to mascara. And actually I'm kind of excited because I wanted to do some lashes. I haven't put on fake eyelashes in so long, and I think it'd be kind of fun. I have the Ardell Wispies. I talked about these all the time. I mean, not that I was ever like into eyelashes like a crazy amount before, but I never put on lashes anymore, and I used to more than I do now. So I think it'd be kind of fun. I'm gonna do like Raw Beauty Christy does, where she doesn't apply mascara first, she applies her lashes first. So I'm just gonna pop these on really quickly and then Be right back. I still look crazy. I applied the lashes. It took me longer, so I just turned my camera off. And then I used the technique that Robbie DeChristie uses. I use my NYX On Their Eyes mascara after I do my lashes. I used to always do before. Now, I know that I never filmed me wearing lashes all the time, but I was in dance competitions. I was a competitive dancer for many years. And I was also on my high school's dance team. So I've applied lashes quite a lot, and I was always the go-to girl whenever people needed help with them. But I always apply mascara first, but she applies it after she puts the lashes on, which helps them mesh together, and then the lashes don't get in the way. And I thought it worked out pretty well, so I definitely liked that idea. And I am going to take a black mascara to conceal the band. None of the palettes that I have in front of me have one, so I just pulled out my Naked 2 palette, which is another throwback, and I'm going to use the matte black with an angled pencil. This is definitely an intense matte black, and I'm just gonna kind of push up in there some black shadow, just kind of in my waterline, and also just kind of along my lash line there, just to really conceal that band. So now that the white sunscreen has sat on my face and I've made a fool of myself this whole time, you can tell that it still stays white. It hasn't really like meshed, which is something to consider if it's important to you. Honestly, if I'm going to put makeup on top, I don't really care. And honestly, if I'm going to be on the lake, jumping in the water and stuff, I don't really care. I don't think I have put eyelashes on since I went to prom last May. Primer, the NYX Pore Filler, something that I did used to talk about for a while, and I haven't been into pore filling primers for a while, and then I just got back into them, so I've kind of had like a love-hate relationship. I honestly think it's a step that, like, if you don't have time, it's not really necessary, but it is kind of nice for concealing your pores, because I do have a decent amount of pores on my nose, and I'll put a little on my chin. It's a very like airy whipped consistency, so it's like easy to just shoot everywhere. I have two foundations. I have the LA Colors Truly Matte and the Catrice Liquid Coverage. I do have a love-hate relationship with this one. I've raved about this one more, so I think I'm going to use the LA Colors one. This is a very thick foundation though, and I am going to pull up my Morphe sponge because I did used to talk about this one a lot for a while. I think I'm just literally just gonna, it's a little dark for me. I'm just going to take the Morphe sponge, who is not a very good sponge. I love my e.l.f. one that I use right now. I hate this sponge. How did I ever kind of like this? This sponge actually sucks. That was really aggressive. No, I'm done with that sponge. This foundation isn't terrible, but it's definitely matte, and I don't like matte foundations, and it can get kind of thick, so you just have to be careful. I'm gonna do another little layer just because I don't think I got enough. I'm gonna do like one pump. It's very thick, just right on the back of the brush. I didn't get very much on my forehead. You just have to be careful with this one too, because I think you can overdo it and layer it too much. This is a great foundation if you're looking for something like inexpensive. You can get it at Family Dollar for like $4. You used to be able to get it on Shop Hush, which Shop Hush isn't around anymore. $6 online. I'll find it and I'll link it down below. I think Walmart might sell it online. Okay, reason number 12,110 why I don't like to put my eyebrows on first is when I apply foundation, I can't be messy. This is why I always do my face first. Skin just looks so bad. I think that stupid Wet n Wild foundation is breaking me out. Makes me sad. This foundation I have in the shade Natural, which I don't think it's the lightest, but I think it's like the second lightest. I used to rave about the Instant Age Rewind from Maybelline, although this is going to be a little dark for me. This is in the neutralizer. Yeah, it's a little dark for me for under the eyes. I'm just going to add a little bit of my Revlon Candid. I don't really like, honestly, I used to love my Maybelline concealers, and now I don't really like them that much anymore. Like the Fit Me, I just don't think it really does much. After I've discovered my Catrice Liquid Camouflage, that was just the real deal. I haven't even had that one in a while. I just am trying to use up what I have and not waste money on. Not that I'd waste money on that one. I also haven't gotten to Ulta. Even though my school is near an Ulta, I just haven't. I don't love like matte skin, but I mean, it doesn't really look too bad. The only place it looks a little weird is right here, but I also had that e.l.f. When I carved my brows, I used the e.l.f. 16-hour Camel just because it was like a fuller coverage one that I had, and I don't even really like that one that much. The only powder that I have is from this set. This is the Wet n Wild contouring palette. I used to love this. This is in Dulce de Leche. So I'm going to use like the lighter color powder to do in my under eyes. I feel like when I also used to talk about some of these products, it was before I had really tried a lot. And granted, I haven't tried a lot compared to a lot of people out there. But I have tried a lot more than I had at the point that I was like talking about this. That's actually a really nice powder. That really smooths my under eyes out. They're just really silky. And I'm going to use the bronzer in this as well. It's a lot warmer tone of a bronzer, but I can make it work. It's okay. I'll just look sun-kissed. It's very pigmented too. You have to be careful with this palette because it can get really pigmented. Also not, like this foundation I think feels like it can kind of be a mask. Even though it's really not super full coverage. I think that way because it's just more matte that I'm used to. I do not have a blush or a highlight, so I'm going to go off camera, do that, and then I'll be back to finish off. I did use the LA Girl Just Blushing Blush and then my Smashbox Spotlight Palette for my highlighter. Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlight. I used to love this in my inner waterline, so that's what I'm going to do today. It does brighten your eyes a lot. And now we are going to go into the Wanderlust palette, and I'm going to take, I think, a mixture of those two, Serious and Stormy, run it along my lower lash line. I did wet my brush, and I'm just going to bring it up on this like flat tapered brush. I feel like I honestly used to do a look like this that was more warm tone. And then I would use like a blue, like a warm pinky, like this, red. And then I would use like a blue liner. I've done this before. Looks so pretty. Okay, I am going to actually take though, the brush that I use kind of like with the dark matte brown in the outer crease. And I'm going to take that dark shade called Cozy and really just kind of buff it out though, and like, and darkening. I don't want it too much. I might just go in more with my crease color too. Just to like really make sure it's like blended out. I'm gonna do lower lash line. We're almost done. I do have a couple lip options, but my lips get so dried out with liquid lips, and even though these have moisturizing products on them, it just gets too dried out. So I'm gonna pull out my Wet n Wild gel lip liner in the shade Gone Burgundy. Applied the lip liner, and now I know it's not the same, but MAC Velvet Teddy was my jam. Now these are gonna dry my lips out because MAC lipsticks are really dry, but this was my jam. This was the color. Last but not least, more mattifying, the Essence Instant Matte Setting Spray. Actually, the mist on this isn't too bad. The eyeshadow is definitely a little choppy, and I've always kind of thought that with Profusion shadows. They've never been like my 100% true favorites because I have thought in the past that they have been a little bit trickier to work with. They're a little bit more inconsistent in the formula. I don't think that they're like my favorite quality, but it is pretty decent for like what you pay at the drugstore. I mean, they blended good. It looks a little bit muddy to me. The e.l.f. Bite Size shadows that are $3 are pretty dang good, and honestly I think I would go for these over Profusion shadows. But is that to say that I won't ever use Profusion shadows? No. Like the foundation, it's not a bad foundation. I think it looks actually a lot better on my skin than I expected. It smooths everything out. It definitely adds coverage. I think this is something that I might wear in the summer more because it is more mattifying, but it doesn't emphasize any of my dryness, and I was expecting it to be worse. It doesn't cover everything, but it's still a decent one. For $4, it's not bad. Hope popping in here, editing Hope. Wait. Same person. I just want to pop in here and tell you that as soon as I stopped filming this video, I went and took my makeup off. And that was just because of the foundation. The foundation just felt like a mask. And I did say this like in the video at one point, but I do want to emphasize that this is not necessarily one that I would want to wear on an everyday basis. If I, for some reason, needed like a mattifying foundation, and like I have a hard time saying full coverage because you can still see my blemishes through. But if you put concealer on top, it makes it a fuller coverage. If I needed that for like an event or a special occasion, I would wear this. But this is not one that I would wear on an everyday basis because I like a lightweight feeling, glowy. Like that's just my preference. So I did just want to throw that out there. That as soon as I stopped filming this, I like took it off because I didn't really want to wear it all day. Well, and I did have an intense eye look on. But I just wanted to mention that it is not for everybody. If you have oily skin, you probably would like it, but just keep in mind it is thicker and it feels, you can feel it on your skin a little bit. It is definitely like makeup, but maybe like if you have oily skin and you're looking for something like that for like an occasion, or maybe you just like that, then it's an awesome inexpensive foundation and you would definitely love it. Morphe primer for my eyes. I've talked about that before. It's okay. This is a great eyeliner if you're looking to highlight the inner parts of your eyes. The Ultimate Brow Highlighter from Wet n Wild. This is definitely a very good one. I do like this palette a lot. If you were looking for a drugstore bronzer highlight-ish palette, this is great. It's very pigmented, you just have to be careful, but I actually decluttered this a while ago and I went back and repurchased this probably, I don't know how long ago it's been now. It's probably almost been a year now since I've repurchased, and I just love this. It's good to have in your collection. The NYX Pore Filler is a good pore filling primer. It did smooth my nose out quite a bit. Do I think it's like anything to rave about compared to a lot of ones? No, I think the drugstore has quite a few. I do like my L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base. The L'Oreal one is more of a cream base. This is a lot more of like a whipped base, just kind of depending on what you like. Maybelline concealer, I think the Age Remind's good. I like my Catrice one better, so it's not like to die for. MAC lipsticks, like I said, they are kind of drying. They were the jam. Now you can just kind of see the cracks in my lips. It's nothing to really die for. The Wet n Wild lip liners though, these are really great. This matte setting spray, I don't need mattifying in my life, but it's not a bad one and it's actually almost gone. I think that is it. If there's anything else I forgot, I'll let you know in the description box, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you did. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. Got any other video idea recommendations? So, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.